All right, let's talk about somebody that's fun and also has question marks on him. Nate Wiggins, the cornerback from Clemson.
This is a great one because I think this is the lowest. This is like your Anaheim. Like there's not much kick to it. It might have some juice. It might have some flavor.
Yep.
But your tongue's not going to be burning and you're not going to be sweating. I think he's pretty low on the Scoville scale for the Eagles. Here's a variety of reasons. One, you keep seeing him in mock drafts. That's because the Eagles need a corner. But you haven't heard anything from the team itself saying that they like Nate Wiggins, like they did with Cooper DeJean. Another thing, his weight. I know he was like 170 to 175. He's now up to 180 at his pro day. Yep. So that's good. But he's still on the lighter side.
That's on the pro day scale, though.
That's where your coach, your assistant coach, your secondary coach puts his toe on the scale.
Yep.
And they add a few 2-3 extra pounds to your weight there.
That's like they say at Ohio State when people run the 40. It's actually a downhill track. So that's why Ohio State guys run so fast to their pro days at Ohio State.
I believe it. I totally believe it. But yeah, so Wiggins kind of undersized. And I know that they are high on Cooper DeJean. But the reason I didn't put him all the way up on the Scoville scale is how hot they are is the Eagles just haven't invested in the cornerback position in the first and second round in Howie Roseman's tenure. Do you know the last corner they took in the first or second round? This is tough.
Give me like a year range.
It's been a while. It was around the Super Bowl era.
I don't know.
Sidney Jones in the second round was the last time they took a corner.
Coming off the Achilles.
Coming off the Achilles injury. That's the last time that they went corner in the first or second round.
Wow.
So it's hard for me to believe that in a year where we need multiple holes on the offensive line, defensive line as a priority, it's hard for me to believe that this is the year that they take the corner. I'm not counting it out. And I do think this kid, in terms of technique, is very sound.
Yep.
It's something that they struggled with last year, and James Bradbury fell off a cliff. So it's a position they've got to address, but they've done pretty good addressing it in later rounds. Guys like Avonte Maddox, stuff like that. Brandon Boykin a few years back. So to me, not very high in the Scoville scale. That it's just not that hot. I'm not feeling the heat between him and the Eagles.
And I don't think I'm feeling the heat from the fans either in Philadelphia. I think if they took him, it would just be like one of those like Troy Fatano's on the board. Like, what do we do? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's not what we do.
Exactly. It'd be if Fatano's on the board and they go Nate Wiggins, it would just feel so uncharacteristic. Now, like I said, there are reports I found out recently. I was actually listening to that new All Philly show.
Yep.
They had insight and intel that the Eagles were trying to get J.C. Horn on draft night before they were able to trade up for Devontae Smith. So they've been rumored with Patrick Surtain forever. So it's not out of the question that they'd go corner. But those two guys, I mean, Surtain, we're talking, is already one of the best corners in the league.
Yep.
Is Nate Wiggins that? I don't know.
And again, I think this kind of goes back to what we were just saying with Edgerrin Cooper. Maybe in the second round, in the 50s, if he was there, you'd be interested. Mm-hmm. I just don't know if you're willing to pay full price.
Yeah. If Fatanu's off the board, you like all your offensive line prospects, then you want to trade back to 27 and get them. Cool. Pick up another pick. Yeah. Cool with that. Yeah.
But sitting tight, picking a corner in the history of the NFL, basically, there's only been one other guy his size or smaller, and it was last year that he was picked by Washington. There's just, there's some big receivers in the NFC East, right? I mean, you're going to go against CeeDee Lamb, Terry McLaurin, AJ Brown in practice every day.
I was going to say, how did this work out with covering AJ Brown last year? Right? The physicality. Yep. That poor kid got left on an island with AJ Brown, and look how it turned out.
Yep. So, we'll see. Sorry about that, Emmanuel Forbes.
Well, yeah, Emmanuel Forbes just taking a strike. He's like the 50 Cent meme. Was like, why are you mad at me? I fucked your baby mama.
Emmanuel Forbes was what's her name the other night covering Caitlin Clark.
Oh, Haley Van Lifter. She's just like, hands up. There's nothing you can do. I felt bad for him. That is how I felt about Forbes. He was up like trying to talk shit to AJ Brown. It's like, dude, no, don't do this. This is a bad idea.
Like, I know this is not a women's college basketball show, but can we make just an adjustment? I don't know. She was just like, there you go, stay on her.
Listen, from the jump, the first possession of the game, they went under a screen on Caitlin Clark. It's like, we've been talking about this every single day for 2 years. Why would you do that? It's the Elite Eight. You don't even have to watch film. Just watch a State Farm commercial and you know not to do that. Man, there were some things LSU was doing that I was just like, guys, what are we doing? They kept going under the screen on Caitlin Clark, of all people. They weren't getting back on defense. It was a layup line for a while for Iowa. Yeah, that
could be one of the worst coaching performances I've seen in a long time, and I've watched a lot of Mike McCarthy.
Yeah. Does Kim Mulkey need to take a year off and just go into a room and just watch nothing but women's college basketball for a while?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great. That was honestly though it was great basketball. That game and the UConn USC game.
How about the women's Final Four tickets selling for double basically what the men's Final Four tickets are selling for right now, price wise?
Yeah, awesome. They know what to do. I always say this to bring it back to the NFL. The NFL is so good at storylines. They realize that they are entertainment, right? Like the NFL is so good at creating storylines, stuff like that. The women's March Madness, there is no sport right now with better storylines than the women's March Madness. With Caitlin Clark, the rematch versus LSU, the Angel Reese thing versus her, like, everybody
the 3-point lines that were not the same on each end of the floor. Can you imagine an NFL game where they're like, all right, so this half is 50 yards, that half is like 46 yards.
Yeah, they're like, actually, the 20, it's actually at the 18. When you get a kickoff and you get a touchback, you're taking it to 23 instead of the 25.
That's fine. We'll just play it.
It's like, guys, this might be the year that we don't want to screw it up. But most watched women's game of all time on the night before they had the 3-point line messed up.
And again, they were like,
we got to get this right for the Final Four. But I'll tell you what, Caitlin Clark, you could put the 3-point line on the moon. She might make it.
Literally
crazy.
Last Caitlin Clark thing here with Ice Cube offering her $5 million to play in the Big Three.
Have you or her? How much do you make in the WNBA?
Great question.
I'm sure she'll go to the WNBA and have an illustrious career.
Yep.
But there's got to be something to just like playing 3-on-3 for $5 million and collecting endorsements that would be somewhat appealing.
I mean, let's see here. Who has the top WNBA? I mean, it can't be that much money, right?
I don't. I mean, she'll be the number 1 overall pick, I presume.
So Elena Deladon, right? She's like number 1. She has signed a 4-year deal, $899,000.
And Caitlin Clark can get $5 million for playing 3-on-3.
Yep.
Well, now it feels like a no-brainer. Can she do both?
I would.
Do the seasons overlap?
I don't know. Is the 3-ball league really like a season? Can't you just go play like 20 minutes and then go wherever the WNBA game is?
Just show up. Yeah, honestly, that you probably could if you in your contract if you could play elsewhere. That one lockout season, everybody in the NBA just went and played in like pickup gyms. My last women's basketball thing, I picked UConn in both. So UConn win the other night. That Paige Buecher's girl, she can shoot too. Now she's playing Caitlin Clark. That score is going to be 140 to 130 by the end of that. We got very on track.
My wife is very happy with you. My wife is not very happy with you that she is not winning her bracket. By the way, on the men's side.
Oh well, yeah. I kind of fell off. I got the champion still.
Yeah, I could.
The rest is
all that matters. It's all that matters.
The rest is not going too well. Graham Barton.
Get back to some peppers. I'm hungry.
Yeah, we should have ate wings while we did this.
Should next time.